Alright guys, it's here. They finally brought it into the game. I'm surprised. It was quick. If you missed it guys, 4 days ago, Valve came out and said that they were going to start introducing seasons to Premiere. And 4 days later, here it is. Let's get right into it. I got some pros and I have some cons. But let's just take a look at the update. So first things first, Vertigo's out. Train is in. And that's obviously referring to the competitive map pool. M4 is more affordable now. They made it cheaper. And they tweaked the Famas. Okay, so Season 2 runs from now through the Austin Major, where after that you'll be rewarded and then the next season will start. Obviously you need to win 25 Premier matches, turn your next medal, and a couple updates here and there, a couple things that they tweaked. Just a little repetition right here, train, Vertigo's out. So this is the big one, guys. M4A4 reduced to the A1S price, which is great because nobody really buys the A4 because it's too expensive, and it's cheaper for the A1S. Plus the A4 is a little harder for a lot of people. The spray is different, pattern's different. A1S is a lot easier, so I think that's great. Same thing with the Famas. Accuracy improved and price reduced. Nobody really plays with the Famas. When you're half buying, you normally buy an MP9. Then when you're fully buying, you don't go for Famas, you go for an A1S. So I think them doing that was huge for the for the A4 and for the Famas. Great updates that they added into the game. Now, I love this idea of seasons for Premiere coming into Counter-Strike because other than the Armory, there wasn't really a reason for people to stay invested, into Counter-Strike, unless of course you have skins, right? But I mean it in the sense of you want your players to play the game and to strive for something, right? They kind of did that with the Armory, where the more you play, the more stars you get, you can redeem them for things in the Armory shop, right? But you need money for that. So it's more really like a cash grab, right? But with Premiere, you don't need to pay for that, right? And at the end of every season, they'll give you stats, they'll tell you how you did, and then the next season will begin, right? And so as a player, the goal would be to keep improving, right? Every season, something to strive for. And that is going to help keep players and also entice players to come back or bring new players in, right? It gives people a sense of purpose when they're playing the game, not just to play it, because they will probably just leave and play a different game, right? So I think this whole concept is great. And I already updated my game, so for those of you that haven't, everybody gets the same like gray, just vanilla pin that you can display, obviously, just like all your other pins. And then you get this little button over here where you can see your stats, right? It'll show you your highest achievements. It'll show you, total stats. And then down here, you can actually switch between each map. And it'll tell you the amount of matches you played and what your stats were for every single one. And so that's kind of what I was referring to, where this now gives you as a player something to strive for. Season 1, I only got to 20,000. All right, so now that Season 2's out, my goal is to reach 21,000, 22,000, 23, right? Same thing with overall statistics and as well as maps, right? I want to try to learn smokes or utilities, or I want to learn the best angle because I want to win more. I want to play, individually, I want to play better, right? So again, back to what I was saying, gives people something to work towards, which is great. And it doesn't involve money, which is also great because you can't just keep asking for money, Valve, right? The Armory, at least, you get something out of it, but still. So this is great. Now, the cons. So, no update on the anti-cheat. My biggest thing with Season 1 and what the season 1 pin was going to be was if they gave everybody the color ranking like they're going to do, what happens to people that were boosted and or hacking, right? Because everybody remembers when Premiere first came out, everybody and their mama was hacking. And if you weren't hacking, then you were paying people to boost you, so you had a higher Premiere ranking. And, there's nothing really stopping them from still doing that. I will admit that with the different updates that they've made, cheating is not as blatant and is not as abused as it was. But it still happens, and what's stopping people from getting boosted or just blatantly cheating? And so that's something that I have a problem with, because if I am investing my time, my energy, my resources into, practicing my aim, practicing my smokes, team play, so that I can get a higher Premiere rating, and then I run into a cheater, I run into somebody being boosted, it's not really fair, and I'm going to be turned off by that. You can have players that are going to be like, no, I'm not, why? Why am I trying so hard? Why am I practicing? Why am I playing this game? So I really hope in the future that that is something that's going to get brought up. 2, where are the updates for more maps? So Cache has been teased, hoping for some updates on that. But really what I'm talking about is adding something for casual gamers, right? The biggest major updates probably recently have been Armory, right? And I say recently as if that wasn't months ago. And then now this. But there haven't really been any new maps added to casual games, Hostage, and in the competitive pool, they took out Vertigo and they had a train. That's cool. But what about giving the players something more? I know it's been teased about Danger Zone. I know that's a little conflicted within the community, but you gotta give a little bit more, right? And I really hope that's something that gets addressed in the future. Okay, guys. So number 1, anti-cheat. Number 2, maps. Number 3, Armory. Hopefully now that they've come out with this, seasons with Premiere, I hope that means that they will now add a new limited edition item to the Armory or change it up a little bit. So those are the big 3 things that I hope Valve will implement or add, update, change, whatever, coming soon. But I am happy to see this. I'm glad that they're making an initiative to add something for people to be invested into the game. And because it's going to run now with the majors, that means that we'll be getting 2 seasons every year, because there's 2 majors a year, guys. So season 2 and season 3 this year, and then obviously 4 and 5, right? And they'll keep going. But this is a really cool update. I'm glad that Valve is doing this and that they're adding this into Counter-Strike, and we'll see what the future holds, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, guys, for all the continued support and love. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.